Sam Harris's challenge, which is the idea of trying to address issues of religion, God, immortality, but in a 21st century way. I want to examine the compatibility or incompatibility between science and religion. But for me, these are not purely abstract or theoretical questions. A few years ago, my dad died. About a year ago, my best friend got cancer. And he's a very successful entrepreneur. And he said to me, Dinesh, the apparent normalcy of our everyday life is a sham. We basically live every day as if we are never going to die tomorrow. And he said, suddenly I wake up and discover I am going to die tomorrow. All my future plans are instantly jeopardized by this great wrecking ball, death. Now, I have just published a book about life after death. It's called Life After Death, The Evidence. Why the evidence? Because I've believed in life after death since I was a child, but I believed it in a childish way. I believed it on the basis exclusively of faith. Now as I get older, I have a lot of questions about it, and that faith has to be scrutinized in the light of evidence. Here's the problem. The atheist is posing as the champion of reason and science and evidence. I want to begin by showing that on an issue crucial to religion, is there life after death? The atheist is not only as ignorant, but more ignorant than the religious believer. Here's why. If you said to a religious believer in this room, do you know if there's life after death? Do you believe that there's life after death? The religious guy would say yes.
By which they try and explain things away and then try and take credit for it. At first it was argued that God had put the fossil bones in the rock so people's faith could be tested. Nice try. Didn't last long. Then the various attempts which still go on to try and ban the good news of evolution. And then now many Christians and some Christian authorities, and some Jewish ones too, say, no, of course it did all happen, and it's amazing to look at the evidence and the extraordinary scope and variety and even beauty of it. In fact, come to think of it, it proves that God must have been even cleverer than we thought. Now you'll notice that there's something completely useless about this argument. It doesn't teach you anything, and it cannot be falsified. And an argument that supposedly explains everything invariably explains nothing at all. The physicist who discovered the Big Bang, I'm moving from evolution now, was actually a Catholic priest in holy orders and a professor at the University of Louvain. And after his quarrel with Einstein about general relativity and his hypothesis of the Big Bang, he went to the Pope and he said, look, this is how I think everything began. In fact, I think it's a sure thing. And it's very important. And the Pope said, well, if you're right, I can have it taught as dogma in the schools. Your truth. We still don't know a great deal about what happened in the first instance of our cosmos. We still don't know quite how the quantum works. We know it does, we don't quite know why. And therefore, I'm going to argue at the time I have that the late great Stephen Jay Gould, a non-believer, was wrong when he said that religion and science can be made compatible. I'm very glad that there's a counter up there, which you can keep your eye on it as well. Every single second, a sun, a star, like our own, the equivalent of our own, blows up and goes out. That happens every second, okay? If I keep to time, see if you can imagine this. Our brains aren't really constructed to imagine it very well. If I keep to my time, 540 great stars and suns will have vanished from the cosmos. It's a sobering thought. We're fortunate in being around to observe the continuing effects of the Big Bang and the mass destruction that it's unleashed. In future generations, if there are enough of them, won't be able to observe it so well. Why is that? Because as the Hubble telescope has shown us, the man for whom the telescope was named, Edwin Hubble, was slightly wrong. He knew the Big Bang was still going on. He knew the universe was still expanding.
I'm going to tell you what I meant by that, and then if you can decide whether I belong on one side or the other, or whether I just have to go back and sit in my chair and be lonely. as for why I don't think I believe on the side of I don't belong on that side, you know, Christianity and Judaism are both religions of revelation. They believe that God revealed himself to I don't believe that's true. As to why I don't think I feel comfortable on that side of the aisle, well, first of all, a number of atheists seem to me, notwithstanding what Christopher said, to speak as if they're sure that there is no God of any kind. And I think anyone who speaks that way is kind of failing to display the intellectual humility that all of us should display, given the fact that our brains were designed by natural selection to do very mundane things like find food and find mates, and not to understand the ultimate nature of reality, okay? So I just kind of think, I don't know what lies beyond. My mind isn't designed to understand certain things. But, and I must say, I disagree with the so-called new atheists, a label that's been applied to all three of these people, I think, because they argue that they are said to argue that religion is bad and should be expunged from the earth. I think religion is not intrinsically bad. On balance, it's been good. I have no desire to talk them out of their faith.